So the most effective and easiest to identify, we need to focus obviously on the bigger aspect of it, because we don't want to know like where the fucking hell like an indicator trader is entering the market, because we go crazy. So we just focus on the breakout inducements, the trend inducements, the reversal inducement, and also the smart money inducements. That's the 4 major builds of liquidity we need to understand in order to make a really pretty picture out of liquidity, because those 4 bring the most liquidity into it and are the easiest to identify also. That's why obviously they bring the most liquidity into it, because they're also the easiest. So we just need to identify those areas, and then of course we can build a story out of them. So just in a nutshell, that's always of course how they look on a very, very easy route, right? And of course what would happen to all of those: induced, 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 and induced. Okay, so if we combine them now to make it even clearer, so that's all the traps combined in a nutshell for you. So we're looking for something like this, a trend building, like awesome. What is all the reasons of retailers do? What do they see? They see this zone, like breakout traders enter, like here, right? Their stop losses go below here. What else? Like new breakout traders enter here, right? Their stop losses go below here. What else? Reversal traders entering in this zone, right? Because of course it's a break and retest area, right? So they entering in here. Then again, the trend traders enter in here, because again, they drawing this trend line. That's the third touch. But there you go. This is a very strong point. They're like 3 retail traders have confirmation in this point, right? So we can guess this is a valid one. So then again, new trend traders, the 4th touch gives a reaction as well. There you go. They're putting the stop losses in here, right? So guess what? There's more. Now the smart money trader comes in and says like, oh, wait a second, I'm there as well. I'm so smart because I'm getting a fill here now. Oh shit, but first what happens to those? They're getting all stopped out. That was strange, right? But guess now the price is in this demand area where maybe there's an imbalance whatsoever. So guess what? There's the reaction of this area. So what is going to happen? Like all these smart money traders jumping in with their stop losses below this area. Everyone is being the long trend, right? Now even smart money traders. So what's the logical thing that happened next? The tube, right? So before they do it, they build the third false direction in the continuation, and then they tube them all, and then easily can go in the other direction. Okay, makes sense? So let's look at some recent examples though, because again, we don't want to show you stuff which is literally maybe in like whatever, 1964. No, we want to show you some recent examples. So what can we do in like real examples just by this understanding alone? So first of all, we see this area in here, this area in here with both these demand areas and balance areas, right? So we can mark them out. So first thing, what's going to happen as they progressing, they're building the channeling trend. They're already making the breakout traders, selling it here, right? Of course, stopping them out, but first of all, but the trend as well. What do they doing now? The consolidation, right? Reaching now the smart money trap zone. So smart money trap traders thinking this is still the trend to go for, right? So they're entering the main direction, following the trend whatsoever, entering with the imbalance zone, right? So they're getting the reaction. Oh, they're getting stopped out already. So, but guess what? Now breakout traders having this zone for the long trade now. Interesting, isn't it? That's how it works, how they do it. So guess what happened next? Oh no, they're getting a false reaction. Guess what? This building a channel already for the short side now, but first stopping up people long. But guess what? We're having now forming this huge reversal trend line in here. So what should happen next? Creation of the trend traders, right? So guess what? Breakout traders entering here now again because it forms actually a new higher high whatsoever. Now look at this beautiful channel which forms in here to give all the traders giving reason to enter. So guess what? Oh no, they're getting stopped out again, and also this trend line fails, right? Trend continuation maybe. Or for the trend line traders, they keep an entry in here as well. They're getting the touch in here. So there you go. They're getting the reaction, right? So that's a false reaction, which we also teach you properly very soon as well, right? But guess what? Looks like a valid buy to all of them now. Look at the whole day. They're just channeling it upwards, making these new higher highs whatsoever, right? So guess what? Oh no, they're getting all stopped out. But now what does happen? Like trendline traders hit stop loss, market balances, most retail traders stop loss hit. Now real direction is in effect because obviously we built the whole false trend before that. We're stopping out all of them. We just need a little pullback and then we're ready to go and doing the same thing over and over and over again. You already can see what they're doing in here, building up the channel, giving the false pullback. So we can expect something like this, obviously, later on. Make sense? Because at some point you should wake out of all this retail stuff and start be like this. And once you can see the liquidity buildups and identify these areas, it will be very easy for you to identify the proper market directions because you just need to identify what they're doing to the rest of the world. So these concepts are man-made. You have to always remember that. Like these overall concepts, like these retail strategies, the all stuff we covered so far, all the fishes that gets eaten. You just need to understand that these strategies are built there on purpose or delivered by the Enigma and created on purpose to trick you, or best case not you, but the retailers in the believing that they work consistently even if they only give a very random or even no understanding at all, but don't really give you any real reasons other than it reacts from an imaginary line or even zone or even a magical indicator. And all of you can do the same test, by the way. If you don't believe me, because again, do the test yourself. You can do it with like a random line experiment. So what is that? What is a random line experiment? So if I just close my screen in here and just go on a random chart, or not random, it's GBP/USD, it's not even a random chart. So if you just go here and just take a line, okay, you just take a horizontal line and just throw it like randomly in even above the price action, like here, right? Or even like in here, or even like in here, or even like below in here, or even like in here. So that's like random lines which have no freaking purpose whatsoever. But now if you look back in what happened, it all seems, it makes sense. Like yeah, look at that. Like it is a perfect channel, how it reacts in here, like perfect touch, even touches again, then breaks through it, comes back to this perfect line. Look at that. Now reacts here perfectly again. Obviously then breaks lower, comes back later, and they can do it like randomly all the time. Look at that. Like, how does that make sense? It reacts from that random line above here, like almost, comes back here, and then reacts from here. It makes zero freaking sense. Look at that. Like, how does that make sense? Comes back here, reacts from this area. Oh my God, gives a break here, even reacts in here again a little bit, and then breaks above it. Like, how and why? It's completely random. Like, how does it make sense? Same thing here. Like, why does it react in here? Breaks lower, comes here, reacts again here in this candle, and then goes up. It makes zero sense. Same thing here. It breaks through here, reacts here. It's all random. And you can do this experience yourself. Like, why would that even make sense? And if you try to dig into that reason of why this would happen all the time, there is no reason. Look at that. We drew these lines randomly. Like, how does price react from here now or here and retest it here and even here again? It makes zero sense. So you need to start to get away from this technical crap and need to go into the real reasons. And that's definitely not like a line. Just again, just to go over that little rant in here. Do that yourself and try if that actually works. Because again, it just shows you how whatever random this market really is. Okay. So what did we learn from this? In hindsight, that's the keyword in here. In hindsight, all these retail strategies seem magical and so reliable, because again, you can go into a random chart and then find like a working trend line. Of course, you will find a working trend line, of course. But what does it do? It does nothing. So But again, the obvious thing is that they are completely random, and it's a very easy to make you believe that whatever these 3 lines we just drew are like magical lines and price reacted on purpose of them. It was fucking crazy random lines. Like, why would the price even react from that? It makes 0 sense. And that's exactly the same thing with this trend, with these retail strategies. If you throw in a random indicator, it will give you like a random working system as well. If you throw in like a random Fibonacci somewhere, it will randomly react of a 68 whatever zone somewhere. That does do nothing. That will not help you. That will not bring you further. That will only confuse you and push you even in the wrong direction, because you're even getting, again, these rewards for doing something wrong if it actually works. So we need to move away from all that stuff, and we need to find out the real reasons why the market moves, how it moves, and how it really operates. Okay? And that's when we're starting digging into our material and leaving all the basics aside, and actually can look at charts.